Hi, I'm Pushpa Naurem, and here in this video I'm going to discuss what is moral hazard. Let's start it with an example. Let's say there is a person called Mr. Blue. Mr. Blue is trying to sell his second-hand car. Mr. Blue has full information about his car in terms of what is working and what is not. For instance, he knows properly that there is problem in mileage, and even there is issue with the steering, and his car engine is old now. Now, one day, Mr. Blue got a potential buyer of his second-hand car. Let's call him Mr. Orange. Mr. Orange is largely unaware about all this problem in this second-hand car because those informations were not imparted by Mr. Blue. Due to lack of information, this has largely affected on the valuations of the car, which make Mr. Orange to pay the full price for a faulty car while Mr. Blue makes off with the tidy sum. This entire illustration was the example of how asymmetric information works in a real life situation. So, asymmetric information is when there is an imbalance in information between buyer and seller, which ultimately can distort choices. In our previous example, here we can see that party A was Mr. Blue and party B was Mr. Orange. Due to asymmetric information or imbalance in information between Mr. Orange and Mr. Blue, Mr. Orange had to pay more than it was required to Mr. Blue for the second-hand car. Here we can cite some of the example of asymmetric information in real life situation. For example, landowners, they have more information about their own property than tenants who come to stay. And doctors have more information about drugs and treatment than common people do. And in terms of product market, sellers have better information about their products than buyer. And again, in the job market, employees are better aware about their true intentions than the employer. Now you must be thinking why I'm still talking about asymmetric information when the actual topic was moral hazard. Well, it was important to let you know briefly about asymmetric information because knowing asymmetric information will help you to better understand moral hazard. In fact, asymmetric information leads to moral hazard. And how asymmetric information leads to moral hazard, we will understand it with the help of an example again. Now, let us assume that you buy a new home by the countryside. But your home is not yet protected against potential damages by any insurance policy. Since it is not covered by any insurance policy, any unfortunate events that might take place in the future, like fire, robbery, etc., you will have to bear the full cost of the loss if it ever happened. As a result of it, you become more careful and attentive. Now, out of worry, you set up sophisticated alarm also and employ watchmen. So, by taking all these precautions, you have already reduced the chances from happening these events in the future. Now, let's consider a scenario where you have full coverage insurance on your home. Now you know that you won't actually lose anything if anything unfortunate event take place in the future. As a result of it, you become less motivated to take precautions against any potential problems. In this example, you see that the moment you know that your home is fully protected from any damages or all the costs will be borne by the insurance company, you become less motivated or become carefree to take care of your own home. So, this example shows how moral hazard really works. But how are you going to define it? Moral hazard occurs when one party engages in a risky activity while knowing that it is protected from the risk and the other party will bear the cost. And it occurs due to incomplete information about each other. And the term moral hazard, it was generally originated from the insurance industry. And it is based on the reality that each party has different informations of a scenario, especially informations that are related to the actual level of risk. Knowing that the insurance will pay for any risk taken, the party purchasing insurance aims to act in a way that benefits them the most. However, this information is not imparted with the insurance company because letting them know would mean higher premium requirements and it would become more expensive to obtain the insurance policy. Moral hazard can also be explained from the perspective of principal agent problem. But what is it? Principal agent problem is a situation where an agent is expected to act in the best interest of a principal, but the agent has different incentive to the principal, leading to the conflict of interest. What does this mean? Okay, we can understand this with the help of an example. Let's take the example of shareholders and manager of a company. You see that a company shareholder will always want to maximize earnings so that they can get larger dividends. However, the management and the employee who are in charge of managing the business on a daily basis might not focus on maximizing profit. Rather, they put their focus on having fun at work and getting along with co-workers. Another example might be of landlord and tenants. For example, when the landlord asks the tenant to take care of the property and minimize electricity and water bills, but what the tenant does is just the opposite. Likewise, you can think of many other examples where due to asymmetric informations, one party engage in a risky activity while knowing that it is fully protected from the risk since the other party will bear the entire cost. So in this video, I've talked about what is moral hazard and how asymmetric informations lead to moral hazard and how it can be explained from the perspective of principal agent problem. I hope you find this video helpful. Thank you for stopping by.